Hi folks, my name is Mr. Kuchak and I am your art teacher. Before we begin, let me go over our class rules. We have 3 rules at Elk Lake. Be ready, be responsible, be respectful. We are ready in the art room when we come in, sit in our assigned seats, and get quiet so that we can learn about art. We are responsible in the art room when we follow directions and take care of our supplies, and we clean up any of our messes. We are respectful when we use kind words like please and thank you, and when we value other students' artwork. Supplies you will need for today's lesson. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Move the camera so that you can see my paper. I will continue talking and you can just follow along. Hi folks, today we are going to be using yellow and blue. And yellow and blue are going to give us our green colors. So if we have more yellow than blue, we'll have a yellow-green. If we have more blue than yellow, we'll have a blue-green, almost like a turquoise. If we have almost in the middle, we'll have our green. So let me show you how to paint a couple things today. I'm going to go over how to paint some water. Water can be really tricky, so we want to try to get this right. Now my paint squirted out a little bit all over the place. So I'm going to take some of my yellow and I'm going to try to hide some of my messes here with a sun. So I'm going to press and twist. That will give me a nice circle. Then I'm going to take some of my paint, I'm going to put it up top, but I'm going to brush it out so that it thins out a little bit, so that it looks like I have some clouds and I have some stuff like that in there. And then I want to put a band of sand in here. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put my band of sand right in here. Now you can see I tried to keep this solid so that it looks a little bit more like sand and less like the sky, because the sky I want it to look like it's nice and warm. And all I'm going to do is just brush my brush clean. So I'm leaving some white spots in there so it looks like a nice day. The next thing that I'm going to work on is my water. So my water down here, since it's far away from me and it's hitting the beach, it's going to look like small waves. The stuff in the middle is going to be medium waves, and the stuff close to me I want big waves. So I'm going to take some of my paint, I'm just going to load it up on my brush, and I'm just going to go onto my beach, up and down, 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 up and down. You can see I got some neat greens in there and some neat blues as the colors were kind of mixing. So now I'm going to pick up some more paint and I'm going to do my medium. So I'm going to do my bigger waves. And you can see I have white paper in there, and it's okay to leave some white paper because that's going to look like the sun's hitting off the top of the waves, and it's going to look like a really nice day. And then the last bit, I'm going to do much bigger waves up front because those waves are really close to us and we can see those waves. And so I'm just going to go up and down with my brush, up and down. And you can see those waves are so big, it's actually taking a lot of my paint off my brush. So now I'm going to take a tiny little bit of blue, that teeny tiny little drop, and I'm just going to put that into a bunch of my yellow. And what that's going to do is that's going to give me my green. So my green will start mixing up real nice. Now I want to leave just a little bit of yellow just so that I have it in case I ever need it. And now I'm going to start working on my pine trees. So the last tree that we went over, we did Y trees where they split as they were coming up. And we're going to do some pine trees here, which are more like a triangle. And the way that I learned how to do this is think of the letter T for tree. Now this is an upside down T, but I'm going to hold my brush straight up and down and I'm going to stipple. That means I'm just going to tap my brush down and then I do my T. T for tree. And then think of the shape of it. It's a triangle, but I don't want to go all the way up to the top. So I'm going to do my side, I'm going to pick up a teeny tiny little bit of blue so it's a little bit darker, and I'm just going to go back and forth now. And I just tap in there and I have my pine tree. So let's try that again. T for tree. I come right down to the sand and then I do my triangle. That tells me where it needs to go. I pick up a little bit more and I just tap side to side. Once again, it's okay if there's some white spots in there. And it'll just make it look like you can see the sky a little bit through the branches. And we just tap it. So we take this up and down, make the T, do your triangle, tap, tap, tap. You just want to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So once again, I'm going to pick up, I'm going to tap, T for tree, I'm going to go up, I'm going to come down, and then I'm just going to go side to side right over my picture, and that will help me make my tree. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of blue in some of these bigger spots. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue in there just to break it up a little bit. Just make it look a little bit darker. And that way I have the top of my pine trees, I have my pine trees all over, and now I'm ready for my brush cleaning. So what I do is I just wipe my brush off a little bit in front of the trees. And the reason why I'm doing that is because water is going to reflect what's near it. So if I put some green in there, it's going to look like the pine trees are reflected into my water. And that way you can see I almost have a triangle shape too, because it's reflecting the shape. The last thing that I need to reflect in there is my sun. So I'm just going to pick up some yellow, that's why I saved it, and then I'm going to just make a quick little circle sun until I run out of yellow, and then I'm going to stick some yellow in some of those white spots. That way it will look like the sun is bouncing off the waves. And that way we have a nice little picture there. If you wanted to do some more details, you could do things like birds. So think of the number 3, and you go up and over, up and over, up and over, and that way you have some seagulls or you have some crows flying around looking for some food, flying around in there. You could even do some stippling, you could do some little animals or shells maybe on the beach. There's a lot that you can do with your picture. Once again, you don't have to paint a picture of pine trees in the water. This is just an example to show you some different techniques. Feel free to paint whatever you would like. So have a great day, and I can't wait to see what you make.